Hi everyone, I am LaJoy and I am back with words of encouragement from Babylon as we journey through the book of Daniel and receive encouragement from what he went through while he was in exile. So today we are still in Daniel chapter 2 and we're going to be reading verses 24 through verse 45. So I am reading the New International Version, the NIV. So it reads like this. Daniel interprets the dream. Then Daniel went to Arioch, whom the king had appointed to execute the wise men of Babylon, and said to him, "Do not execute the wise men of Babylon. Take me to the king, and I will interpret his dream for him." Arioch took Daniel to the king at once and said, "I have found a man among the exiles of Judah who can tell the king what his dream means." The king asked Daniel, also called Belshazzar, "Are you able to tell me what I saw in my dream and interpret it?" Daniel replied, "No wise man, enchanter, magician, or diviner can explain to the king the mystery as he asks about. But there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries. He has shown King Nebuchadnezzar what will happen in days to come. Your dream and the visions that passed through your mind as you were lying in bed are these. As your majesty was lying there, your mind turned to things to come, and the revealer of mysteries showed you what is going to happen. As for me, this mystery has been revealed to me, not because I have greater wisdom than anyone else alive, but so that your majesty may know the interpretation and that you may understand what went through your mind. Your majesty looked, and there before you stood a large statue, an enormous, dazzling statue, awesome in appearance. The head of the statue was made of pure gold, its chest and arms of silver, its belly and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet partly of iron and partly of baked clay. While you were watching, a rock was cut out, but not by human hands. It struck the statue on its feet of iron and clay and smashed them. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, the silver, and the gold were all broken to pieces and became like chaff on the threshing floor in the summer. The wind swept them away without leaving a trace, but the rock that struck the statue became a huge mountain and filled the whole earth. This was the dream, and now we will interpret it to the king. Your majesty, you are the King of Kings. The God of heaven has given you dominion and power and might and glory. In your hands he has placed all mankind and the beasts of the field and the birds in the sky. Wherever you live, he has made you ruler over them all. You are the head of gold. After you, another kingdom will arise, inferior to yours. Next, a third kingdom, one of bronze, will rule over the whole earth. Finally, there will be a fourth kingdom, strong as iron. For iron breaks and smashes everything, and as iron breaks things to pieces, so it will crush and break all the others. Just as you saw that the feet and toes were partly of baked clay, so this will be a divided kingdom. yet it will have some of the strength of iron in it, even as you saw iron mixed with clay. As the toes were partly iron and partly clay, so this kingdom will be partly strong and partly brittle. And just as you saw the iron mixed with baked clay, so the people will be a mixture and will not remain united any more than iron mixes with clay. In the time of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed, nor will it be left to another people. It will be crushed. It will crush all those kingdoms and bring them to an end, but it will itself endure forever. This is the meaning of the vision of the rock cut out of the mountain, but not by human hands. A rock that broke the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold to pieces. The great God has shown the king what will take place in the future. The dream is true, and its interpretation is trustworthy. Now, a lot stands out to me in this passage of scripture. One, Daniel received the answer, but Daniel didn't just try to save himself and his friends. He told Arioch not to kill any of the wise men, even the wise men who did not serve his God. He was like, no, God gave me an answer to save everybody. Now, I'm going to save the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm going to save everybody. That's the first thing that stood out to me. The second thing that stood out to me is that Daniel did not take credit himself. He made sure to acknowledge that it was God that revealed the mystery to him. It was nothing that he did himself. He did not claim that he was better than the enchanters. He did not claim that he was better than any of the rest. He gave all credit to God. And then we go on and he starts interpreting Nebuchadnezzar's dream. He tells Nebuchadnezzar that he sees this statue, this great statue, and then there is a stone that is cut out of the mountain, not by man's hands, and it breaks the statue. The stone that's not made by man's hands, we know that that represents God's everlasting kingdom, and no other kingdom will be able to overthrow it. The different materials that the statue was made of represented different kingdoms. Like Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon was the head. It was the great kingdom, but that kingdom was going to fall. And then another kingdom was going to rise up, Persia, Rome, all these other kingdoms that came after Babylon, but they all fell. That's what Daniel is saying. God is revealing to Nebuchadnezzar, and then there will be an eternal kingdom that will never be able to fall. No other kingdom will be able to overthrow it. And that is God's heavenly kingdom. That is the stone that crushed all the other kingdoms. The encouragement today is God lifts up and tears down. So any situation that you're in right now, know that God is sovereign and God has the final say, the final authority over that kingdom. Whether it's a situation, I'm saying kingdoms, but it applies to situations as well. God is sovereign. God has the final say, the final authority. So whatever is set up, a statue in your life, whatever is trying to take dominion over you, know that God is able to crush it. Know that God is able to tear it down. So that is my encouraging word for you today. I hope that you come back tomorrow as we wrap up Daniel chapter 2. My takeaway from this passage is, one, that God can answer things that we don't understand, that God can reveal to us mysteries and things that's hard for us to figure out. He can provide the answers. And when he provides the answers, stay humble. Don't take credit for yourself. When God gives the ability for us to do things, just like God gave Daniel the ability to interpret the dream, just like God gave Nebuchadnezzar the ability to rise to power, his kingdom to rise to power. Because if you go back and read in Jeremiah. Jeremiah prophesied that Nebuchadnezzar was going to take over Judah and he was going to have this great kingdom. In Jeremiah, he calls Nebuchadnezzar God's servant. God can use kings and kingdoms to fulfill his purpose. And just like he can raise them up, he can tear them down. And the next thing I want to acknowledge is that God is going to establish an everlasting kingdom. And that's our hope and our promise that whatever situation that we are in is not permanent, that it comes to an end. It will fall. I hope this encourages you. Be blessed.